have with us for the match in the angle and story of the front.
Adam. Adam, fine.
Yeah, congratulations, a fantastic match. Talk to us a bit about what it's like playing in front of this huge crowd and the support that you're getting from the fans locally.
First of all, thanks for the congratulations. It's been really exciting. The fans have been fabulous. You know, backing us and supporting us all the way. It was a huge it was a huge thing for us, having all these people backing us and playing at home.
And a very close match. What do you think was the difference between you and England today?
I think we held our nerves. We had that never die attitude in going into this match and coming on to the end as well.
Your batting as a side and you personally, the last couple of matches has been quite a sight to behold, particularly compared to the way some of the other teams have batted on this St Lucia pitch. What do you think is different about the way you've approached batting out there?
Well, I think I was quite sensible about it, you know, more responsible and smart. I think that's what made the difference.
Do you think that as a side people underestimated you before the tournament started?
The way things are looking, it could be, but I'm not sure. I can't see it.
And how are you feeling now about that semi-final, which you know now will be against Australia on Thursday?
Well, I'm feeling very good, having top the group, which that's what we were working hard for and what we wanted to do, you know, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who we play, we still have to get the job done.
You lost 2 big wickets early on. What was the discussion in the middle after those 2 wickets went down early?
Well, my partner that came in, Shemaine Campbell, the discussion was to build a partnership and stay there to the end. I just want to commend her on the innings she played as well. It was a crucial innings she played, you know, and that helped brought home the game as well.
You hit some huge sixes today. Would you rate yourself as the biggest six-hitter in women's cricket?
Well, I'm sure that there are a couple of players that hit bigger ones than me, but I wouldn't rate myself as the biggest six-hitter. I would just probably rate myself among the six-hitters.
Just back to your partnership with Campbell. She was under a lot of pressure coming in because she had not had any runs behind her. It was a quality innings, and the partnership was really what West Indies needed.
Well, I think for Campbell, she's a fighter. She's very determined, and coming into the wicket, us talking to each other a lot, that helped her as well. Having knowing the players, as Anya Shrubsole know that she's one of the top 8 bowlers and she took wickets for them, it was just a matter of playing her cautiously and just nudging around for the singles.
Leandra, it came down to be quite a close finish towards the end. What was the atmosphere like? What was the tension like in the West Indies enclosure?
Well, you know, it's good to win close games because to know how it feels. But the tension it wasn't really any tension in that sort of way. We just had the support, so the girls were pretty good.
Leandra, your fielding in this tournament has been outstanding. Nasser Hussain said after the South Africa game that it was the best fielding performance he'd ever seen in women's cricket. How important is it, you know, has the fielding been to your success in the matches that you've played?
Well, fielding is very important in a game. For example, if you score a low total and you have the best fielding, then you have a chance at defending that total. But our fielding, we've been working very hard on our fielding, on basic stuff, and certain stuff. So I think it's pretty strong at the moment.
Today, when England were batting, I think between the 15th and 17th over, they scored about 30 runs when you guys had them under some pressure before. Was there like a relaxation at that point, I mean, of the game, or did they just get away a little bit?
Well, I don't think it was a relaxation. That always happens in cricket. When you have a side down, they tend to have a partnership in the middle. But I think the girls did well to at least pull it back and bowling them out on the 120.
You're not an original opener. You open sometimes and then sometimes you bat in the middle. They put a lot of pressure on you by sending you at the top to do the damage with Haley. How, at first, how comfortable were you with that? And who was the person that put it to you that maybe you should go to the top and smash it?
To be honest, it wasn't any pressure. I know what kind of player I am. I can go hard. I can go medium. I can knock it around. It all depends on the situation. But knowing that you have a six overs power play that you would like to capitalize. So I think being at the top, yeah, is a go hard situation. But I think it's kind of more supporting Haley, my other partner Haley, because that's where she accustomed.
And who put it to you? Was it the captain or was it one of the coaches that?
I think it was a team thing. It was a team thing.
Does playing against men in the club system in Barbados help you in any way to battle against women at this level? Because you know the Barbados Cricket Association has put a team in the men's tournament. Obviously Haley plays with her brother at Pickwick. Is that a big advantage playing club cricket against men?
Well, for me, I play with the UWI Blackbirds, which is a combined campus with different guys from different countries. So I think it has helped me a lot. You know, having those guys bowling fast at me. It's impact a lot on my cricket coming against ladies.
Okay, and Thursday in Antigua, first of all, a message to the fans, what should they come out to watch? And a message to your teammates as to how you're going to approach Australia.
Well, my message to everybody is that we just come here to play good and hard cricket.
Okay, and your teammates, what's he thinking about for the Australia game? They look pretty sharp in Guyana.
Well, our thoughts are the same for every game that we have played.
And that is win.
Win.
Thanks, Deandra, well played. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us.
You're welcome.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you again for staying with us. We have, doing tonight's presser, Heather Knight, the England captain. Feel free to answer any questions that relate to today's game.
Heather, that was the tight, exciting game, just on the wrong end of it. Where do you think England didn't quite come up?
Yeah, it was a great game of cricket, wasn't it? I thought the fight we showed to stay in that game, to obviously get to a total that was defendable, and the fight we showed out there to obviously get it close was brilliant. In terms of where it went wrong, I guess ideally you want one of the top five to be there in the last sort of 2 or 3 overs. That's where you're going to sort of push it forward and get those really big scores. And the fielding, I think, a little bit more composure potentially would have got us over the line, but like I say, I can't sort of question the girls' fighting attitude to stay in a game like that under that sort of pressure. The crowd and the support for the West Indies was really pleasing.
And Sophia Dunkley, quite a time for her to have to come in for her first international innings. A few words about her contribution there and digging her out of that hole.
Yeah, really pleased for her. Her and Anya had that great partnership. I think a record, 7th wicket partnership for England, it was brilliant. She's obviously had to wait 3 games to get out there and get the bat in hand, and I think she's been itching at the bit to do that. And the way she played, she hits very unusual areas as a cricketer. She's very hard to set fields to, having captained against her previously. So to show that composure under that amount of pressure and under that sort of people, the amount of people, 10,000 people, whatever it was, so really pleased for her. She's worked so hard. I think it really helped having Anya out there to sort of keep her calm and keep her very relaxed. And obviously Anya's batting as well was a real talking point.
You mentioned that the fielding kind of went a little bit awry at times. How did you deal with that as captain? Were you saying to people to calm down, or?
I wouldn't say it went awry. I think it's very difficult conditions. Those balls obviously went very high with the lights, and fielding under the dark skies as well is something we haven't done in this competition yet. But yeah, I think a little bit more composure, a little bit more just staying calm in that sort of situation, and that would have got it over the line. But obviously we've got a semi-final to make that right. A massive game it's going to be against India, one we're really looking forward to.
Is there any sense of relief not to face Australia in the semi-final?
No, not at all. You could see from the disappointment on our faces from losing that game. We were obviously desperate to win. You want to take as much momentum as you can into those semi-finals, and India have been playing very good cricket as well. Whoever we faced in the semi-final, we're going to have to play very well to beat. So no, I don't really mind who we're playing. But yeah, we've got a few things we need to sharpen up on, and obviously that massive game we're going to prepare as well as we can, ready to face India.
I noticed that Kirsty Gordon went off the field after she'd bowled her allocation of overs. Is she okay?
Yeah, she's fine. She had a back twin. She was actually struggling to finish that final over. Just a little bit of back twins going down into her hamstrings. So yeah, decision to take her off. She obviously bowled very well. But yeah, she was in a lot of pain in that last few balls of that over.
Your previous 2 wins were by quite comfortable margins. Previous 2 matches, your victories. So how important is it for you guys that you played a tight, tense match, going and testing yourself in that kind of situation before going to the semi-final?
Yeah, I think it's a great experience for the girls. For some of the younger girls that haven't played in front of that sort of crowd, that sort of pressure and the atmosphere that it had, would be great for them. It's a brilliant learning, I think, and what an amazing occasion it was. But to have a tight game like that and to see how we fought, how we stayed in the game, how we scrapped, that's what the team's about, and that's all I can ask for the girls, and a little bit more sort of skill and composure, and we would have got over the line. So yeah, really pleasing, obviously going into the semi-final.
What do you think would have been, from the England point of view, a reasonable score for the West Indies to chase? 130, 140, 150?
I think we were in the game with the score we got. I think ideally we'd sort of had another 10, 15 runs, and it probably potentially would have been out of the West Indies' reach, or would have made it a lot closer. But yeah, a few more. Like I said, one of the top 5, if they bat through, then that's going to get us up to that total. But on that wicket, it was quite tricky to bat. It was quite up and down. A few turns, some sort of skidded on, so it wasn't the easiest wicket to obviously go and get a big score. But I think yeah, sort of another 10, 15 runs would have been about par.
You think it'll be an unfair headline in some of the British press tomorrow if they suggest that England threw away their chances with poor catching, slippery fingers? Are you taking your chances?
Oh look, it's pretty obvious we dropped a few out there, but it wasn't easy conditions. The balls that were dropped obviously went very high. There's not making excuses. We need to take those in the semi-final if we're going to progress. But yeah, so having a little bit more composure and being sort of really calm in that situation. But I think hopefully the headlines will be how hard we fought and what a great game of cricket that we made it.
And apart from the difficult conditions and lighting and that, how important was the crowd as a factor?
How important was
the crowd as a factor in
well, yes, obviously hard when you've got 2 people going for a catch and the crowd is so loud you can't really call for it. But I think it was a brilliant atmosphere. That's the sort of crowd, the sort of noise you want to play cricket under as a professional cricketer. And obviously the support was there for the West Indies, and I think it's brilliant that so many people have come out and support, and it's made it a sort of real carnival atmosphere and a really enjoyable one.
Heather, just a word for Anya Shrubsole, who has almost gone without comment despite taking, 5 wickets and about 7 balls across the last 2 matches at the beginning and then getting those runs as well. How important is her spirit to what you're trying to do as a team, and how much you want to see everybody else replicate that kind of thing?
yeah, I think Anya will be pretty happy to go under the radar. She's a very humble individual that just goes about her business, but she's been outstanding for us this trip. The way she swung it up front, obviously you see how threatening she was in the first over, taking those first 2 wickets, putting the West Indies on the back foot straight away. And the lengths I think she's bowled on these wickets has been brilliant. She's adapted her game outstandingly, and I love watching her bat as well. She's been a great cog for us. Obviously in the team and the way she goes about things and the sort of calming influence she has. So long may that continue into the semis.
Danny Hazel was back into the side today. She went for quite a few runs in her first couple of overs, but you persisted with her as a bowling option. Can you talk us through that decision?
Yeah, sure. Obviously Danny was in there as a specialist bowler. She potentially bowled a little bit too flat at the start, and then you saw she took the pace off a little bit in the last 2 overs and looked a lot harder to hit. I think she was a little bit unlucky as well. There was a few that went over fielder's head that obviously Deandra got hold of. She's a very good player, very dangerous player, and it's always hard when you spin the ball into her arc a little bit. But yeah, it's Danny's first go of the trip. But yeah, I'm sure she'll assess her performance and look on things she could have done better.
West Indies have built their innings around the top 3. The most experienced batters and the most successful. But then Campbell came at number 4. She's been around for a while. I know you would have known her from before. When she got in, what were you thinking? Were you thinking that she's the kind of player that can take it past with the kind of the way she plays? Were you thinking along that line?
Yeah, we obviously did our homework on the team we're going to play. We knew about Campbell and had plans against her. She obviously hasn't batted too much in this tournament, but I've played against her a lot previously and know sort of her game. I thought she batted quite well. She batted quite sensibly in terms of when she chose to attack and chose to defend. But yeah, unfortunately we couldn't sort of crack that partnership. That was the real key. I think if we'd broken that Dottin-Campbell partnership a little bit earlier, we'd have hopefully been able to break the door down. It was quite a hard wicket to come in and score quickly on. It was sort of once you got used to the pace, the sort of little bit of variable bounce, it was a little bit easier as a batter. So yeah, I thought she batted well and obviously was key to them winning. And
a bit on Dunkley, as you said earlier, a very young player who you've played against, hits it in awkward areas. What do you think deep down about her role in tonight's game and then taking it forward to the semi-finals? Was that Dunkley, sorry? Well, yeah, she comes in at that number 7, and it's quite a tricky place to bat. I think you either come in when the team's in trouble, like she did tonight, or you come in with not many balls left, and you obviously want to score very quickly, and that's why we've picked her in that role. She scores quickly, she hits in unusual areas, she can clear the ropes, as obviously you saw tonight as well. So yeah, I'm really pleased for her, and for her going into a semi-final, it's great that she's had a hit out and she can take some real confidence in terms of the way she played.
We're into the semi-finals in Antigua. We hope to have the same kind of crowds, and you're hoping to have the same kind of crowds. What message, what appeal you like to make to the Antiguan public, because this is your tournament. 4 teams are in the semi-finals. What you got to say to the Antiguan public? Well, I think ask any of the people that have come tonight in terms of how much they've enjoyed themselves. I think it's been so busy because sort of words got around. And all the staff at our hotel have been asking for tickets and saying they've really enjoyed watching the women play. So yeah, hopefully it'll be the same in Antigua. Hopefully the word will get around and there'll be a few in hopefully for those 2 semis. Thank you, Heather. All good? Nice one, cheers.